Morning! I thought I would do a quick follow-up to my previous video on my beauty haul from Boots and all the freebies that I got to go with it, which I was really pleased about. But this morning, it is the morning after the night before that I did the video, and I'm actually using on my face right now a lot of the freebies that I got. So I thought I'd do a short, quick follow-up video while my little girl is in the other room occupied with Snow White on the TV. So I thought I'd do a quick snippet just to follow up from the products and just give a little bit of a feedback, because you know what it's like when you use them for real as part of your makeup routine. You get a real proper feel for them rather than a quick swatch on the back of the hand or a quick slick over the top of whatever you're wearing. So the products that I got for free, the first one I'm going to talk about that I'm actually wearing today. I got more for free than I'm going to show you right now, but I'm just going to show you what I'm actually wearing. This is the No7 Stay Perfect liquid eyeliner, and this is the one that's not a felt tip. How would I describe it? It's like a dipstick. If I can do this one handed. Okay. It's like that. I'm not going to try and stab that back into the tube while it's in my face. Job done. So it's like that. It's got a real fine tapered tip on the applicator, which to start with I was like, oh, it's a bit floppy. And it's very, very thin, which put me off. But then I started using it, and I don't know if you can see with my eyeliner, I don't actually do it all the way into the inner corner of my eye, because I find that actually closes the eye down. It's kind of surrounding the eye with darkness. Some people will get on with doing that, but for me, I personally don't, because I like to create like an open, wide-eyed look, and I find that if you concentrate your darker colours to the outer and upper side of the eye, then you're actually going to be creating more of a wide-eyed look. So I concentrate my eyeliner just on the top, and then I take it in maybe 2/3. So I kind of just stop it kind of just past my pupil, so it is about 2/3 in, but I taper it to a fine finish. And to start with, I was a little bit unsure of the fine floppy tip on this applicator. I really should stop talking about floppy tips, but this one was actually really, really good for tapering to a fine finish, which I loved. The consistency is good, it's smooth, but it's not too wet, and it's not too thick either, but I don't think you find any that are too thick really, unless you're looking at like a gel or a paste eyeliner. But this one, for being a liquid fluid eyeliner, it's got a lovely glide to it, and I found it really, really nice and easy to use. And for a freebie, that's fantastic. The second thing that I'm wearing today that I got yesterday is not a freebie, it's not something that I paid for, it's actually a sample of bareMinerals Complexion Rescue Hydrating Gel. And I got it in shade 1.5, which I think is called Birch or Birch something. I'll have to check. But basically, I'm trying to come away from a full coverage foundation. I used to use Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now that was around the time that I got married in 2012, and I bought it for my wedding because I wanted a foundation that was going to last all day, and that did the job. It was fantastic, but it was really, really heavy, full coverage, and I didn't get on with it on my honeymoon because obviously in a hot country we wanted something a bit lighter, and then when I got home I felt it was still a little bit too heavy for everyday wear, so that one kind of went to the back of my pile for special occasions and nights out. And then I came back to the one that I used previously before the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I was using Max Factor Lasting Performance, and that's what I'm currently using. Not today, but I've come back to that, and I kind of see that as like a step down in coverage, like one notch down from Estee Lauder, because it's still quite a good coverage, but it's lighter in consistency and coverage. So I found that that one was a little bit better for everyday wear, and I love that one, I do, but I'm now, maybe, 4 years later, I'm now feeling the need to come down a notch even more in terms of lightness and less coverage, because I think as I get older, I don't want to wear stuff that's so thick or cakey on my skin. Not that makeup is cakey if you do it right, but by the end of the day, I don't want to feel like if I touch my skin it's all going to slide about, because that just feels yucky. And when I'm picking up my girls and giving them cuddles and kissing them all over, I just want to not feel like my makeup's going to come off on everything. So I'm kind of coming away from thick stuff, or high coverage stuff I should say, rather than thick. So I thought I would try this hydrating gel, and God, I went all the way around the houses to get there, didn't I? So I'm wearing it today. It's a lovely, lovely colour match, and you know, I haven't got any on my neck, but actually between my face and my neck, I'm really happy with the colour match that the girl in the shop did for me yesterday. Looking at the tone on my skin and how it makes my skin look, I feel it kind of looks on my skin the same as my foundation does, so it doesn't give less coverage, which is quite a good thing actually. But what is possibly better than my previous foundation is the fact that it's a hydrating gel, so it's actually assisting my skin throughout the day. And obviously I'm quite matte at the moment because I powder set my makeup, and then I'm good to go for the day. But the test will be at the end of the day, and I'm going to check in to my video at the end of the day to just show you how my skin has fared, because that is my ultimate test, and that is why I like to take a product home to test it, so that I can get a feel for it throughout the day and see how it lasts, and then I might consider buying it. And it really puts me off when you're not able to take a sample of the product home to do that, because then you're not really getting a good measure of how much it's going to suit you or not, as the case may be. So it's really nice that bareMinerals let me do that. I've probably got a good 3-4 days of wear out of the sample that she gave me. It was a really generous sample, so I'm really pleased with that. And so far, I'm loving it. It was easy to put on. It's very light in its texture, and it's spread really easily. Like, it's got a nice glide about it. And I thought, oh God, I've gone from too much coverage to almost nothing now. But I went with it, and actually, once I've powder set, I actually thought, no, that's really, really nice. It's still got quite a good coverage to it, but it's not too obvious. But of course I put blusher on as well, so it's quite clear that I'm still wearing makeup. So I will let you know how I get on with that. I'm going to check in again later, as I said, and just give a bit of feedback as to how it's lasted the day. And the third and final product that I'm going to talk to you about was the freebie I was the most happy about, and that's the No7 Matte Lip Crayon. I think this is a full-size product. I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, how much bigger do you want it? If I take the lid off, yeah, it's quite a chunky pencil, and it's really, really lovely to apply. So I've got it on today. It's my new favourite. I'm absolutely loving it. I put it on today, and the colour transfer is strong enough that you don't need to line your lips, and I haven't bothered lining my lips. I've simply used the tip of the nib, and I've used that to contour, create like a shape with my Cupid's bow and my lip, and I'm happy with that. If I was going out for a night out and I wanted a real sort of slick, defined look, then I've got a lovely lip liner by Clinique, and it's in a shade called Pomegranate, and that would be a perfect match for this colour. So if I felt the need to line, then I would, but for day-to-day wear, I honestly don't feel the need to. And you can see it's actually a nice matte sort of finish, but at the same time it feels like I'm wearing like a lip balm, but one that's not very slippery. So it feels nourishing, but it's not very slippery at the same time. So and the reason that not slipperiness is a good thing is because when you've got a matte product, you don't want to feel like you're slippery sliding all over the place, and you don't want it to transfer, and slipperiness does tend to transfer onto clothes and children and things. So it's quite nice that you feel nourished and you feel like your lips are not going to get parched or dry out, but at the same time you know, it's going to stay put as well. So I can't tell you how excited I am to have received that for free. I'm really pleased, and I'm going to be buying another one when it runs out, because it will be running out, because I'm going to use it a lot. The shade, I did say in my previous video, but this is called Raspberry Wine. Okay, so it's a really, really lovely, good all-rounder. It's quite a cherry sort of colour. So I think it's got a good chance of suiting most skin tones. And you know, you don't have to worry about having perfectly white teeth to pull off a colour like this as well, because some reds are a little bit dodgy for that. Okay, so that's my brief catch up. Brief, it's still been 10 minutes, but then I do like to talk. So I hope this is all helpful for you in case you are intending on going out and getting all these freebies for yourself as well. And I do suggest you do, but they're in the shops right now. They're in Boots right now, the free gifts that you can get with your purchases. And as I said, I will check in later today just to let you know how I'm getting on with the Complexion Rescue Hydrating Gel from bareMinerals. Thanks very much. See you later. What is it? 7:15. I've just finished putting the girls to bed and I've just got my jammies on. It is the best time of day. I love it. So this is just a quick check-in just to say I still have unmoved and very slightly, but not too badly, shiny makeup on. And by shiny, I mean I've got a slight shimmer to my face, which is perfectly normal for me. I've got a combination skin type, so when my skin is quite well balanced and it's quite under control with all the products that I'm using, I find I get about this much shine by the end of the day, and that is so much better than what I used to get. I used to have such oiliness, I should say, by lunchtime that I used to have to use blotting tissues, and then I'd have to reapply my powder. And this was years ago. This was like when I was in my early 20s and still quite maybe I guess quite hormonal, but actually probably more just to do with not having very good knowledge about what my skin needs. So yeah, I used to have really quite oily skin, so that's still quite a concern for me because it's a bit of a habit to sort of watch out for oiliness. So if I get to this stage of the day and my makeup looks like this, we're on to a winner. So I'm really, really chuffed with how this has stayed on. Obviously I said earlier in this video that I had the, what's it called, the liquid eyeliner by No7. That has stayed put, hasn't shifted. I haven't done any crying, or I haven't been out in the rain or anything like that, so it hasn't really been put to the test, but it hasn't shifted. It's stayed in exactly the same place I put it in. And this is the matte lip crayon, and I have not touched it up since this morning. When I started the video I had just finished putting it on, and it stayed like this all day, so obviously it's lost a bit of colour on the inside of the lip, but actually, you know, that's fine. That's really, really quite impressive, because I've got some other colours that do not last nearly as good as this, so I'm really pleased with that. And as I say, my skin, it doesn't feel greasy, it's got a slight shine to it, but that's fine. And it stayed really quite nicely hydrated all throughout the day. So what it actually means, if you overproduce oil, it's possibly because your skin is unbalanced in the first place, but it might also be because the products that you're using aren't suiting it. And sometimes when you don't get your skincare quite right, or if you have makeup products that aren't suited, so the consistency of the product isn't quite suited to you, then that can cause overproduction of oil. So this is why I keep going on about how much shine I have by the end of the day, because that seems to have been like my best test over the years of how suited something is to me, is does it give me a shine by the end of the day, and if it doesn't, then it will probably slot into my routine quite nicely. So yeah, I'm going to give it another go over the next few days, because as I said earlier, God, I'm looking so dishevelled. As I said earlier, I've got probably 3 or 4 days use out of that sample that the lady gave me, so I think that's a really generous sample. I'm going to use it over the next few days, but I'm pretty convinced I'm going to be buying this. I'm going into Southampton on Monday, doing some Christmas shopping with my dad, so I think I'm going to be picking myself up a bottle of this, and hopefully getting some more Boots points as well. Always nice. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. I will be doing a future video in response to a comment that I got under one of my previous videos about how you can make your makeup last longer if you put it on in a certain order, although that's not necessarily the case all the time, but also just what you can do to make your makeup last that bit longer. So I had a request for that video topic, so I will honour it, and if I'm thinking rightly, I think that's going to be my next video. So please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and you'll be sure not to miss out on everything that I'm doing. Good to see you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.